Hello, welcome to gagrol.net. My name is Wally Sarkisian with Ara Papyan. And some of you who don't know Ara will introduce you after this. Hello, welcome to gagrol.net. My name is Wally Sarkisian with Ara Papyan. And some of you who don't know. Okay. Okay. So everybody knows Ara. There is nobody. If you don't know Ara, that means it's you have something wrong. So here is just quickly. Ara was born in Yerevan, of course. Let's see here. He graduated from Yerevan State University with a bachelor degree in history. In 1989, he completed a postgraduate degree course of study in Armenian history at Yerevan State University. And he graduated from Diplomatic Academy of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation and also NATO Defense College in Rome. He also completed a course of study in public diplomacy. He learned Armenian language, literature in Melkonian Educational Institute in Nicosia in Cyprus. Wow, all the way there. And he taught history in Iran, in Yerevan State University. He was Armenian ambassador in Canada for several years. He speaks multi-languages, Armenian, Russian, English, Persian. He spent lots of time in Armenian foreign ministry, inside Armenia and outside Armenia. So this is just a short biography of Mr. Papyan. But if you need more, you could Google it. You will find lots of this stuff. He's author of many articles and so on and so forth, lectures. He's been in every TV in Armenia. And so that's all I could say. If I missed something, Mr. Papyan, you tell me. You fill in.
No, it's generally the whole information. Just that I'm now mainly involved in political life in Armenia. Now I'm member of Armenian Democratic Alliance or Axis.
I'll come to that. Just 1 second there. Okay. So I want to start with this. I am confused. Also, many Armenians are confused. If you could explain these 3 points, but just quickly, what is this Sasnat Zarir? Some people love them, some people hate them, some people call them terrorists. Number 2, what is this words you guys always use, bever? Number 3, what is Armenian, National Democratic, once you call them Axis, once you call them Pole, I guess. So can you quickly describe all this?
Okay, about Sasnat Zarir. Sasnat Zarir, first there was a group of people who rebelled in 2016 against, at that time, the government of Armenia, because the government had an intention to, let's say, give back or to deny our rights over Nagorno-Karabakh. And this rebellion actually, at that time, was half successful in terms that the goal was reached. At that time, the war that we had last year postponed for 4 years because it was scheduled for 2016. Unfortunately, until now, these people are under investigation, and today there was one of the special days in courts because they still remain under investigation, even they rebelled against Serge Sarkisian, who was later denied by Pashinyan and people themselves after 2 years. About Bever. Bever is really, yeah, it means Paul. But the problem is that you see when you translate literally the term, it's a little bit different understanding. It's another connotation. Bever in Armenian, it's generally saying a group that is different for others. But when we translate it, let's say Paul or Axis, especially Axis, it reminds some people Second World War, the Axis, and so on. Because frankly, we do not know how really to translate. We ask some people what their opinion, and we do not have a clear-cut suggestion for English translation. Paul, Axis, or Alliance. Now, but in Armenian it's clear. It's Bever because in Armenia we can understand what this means. In Russian as well, it's possible. So much. This is.
Okay, so all those three are combined now.
Yes, we will come out with the final decision for English translation. Now we are inclined to use more alliance because some people think that I already told Axis reminds Second World War and Axis of evil that was used by U.S. President and so on. It's because the words, yeah, when you translate from a language to another language, the meaning may be the same, but the feeling can be different. Let's say when Armenians say, let's say hatsuter, it does not mean to eat just bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wider. The same with the words. You can translate exactly, but you can lose in the translation half of the meaning.
Yeah, that's true. In any languages. Yeah.
Yes.
Like even I took a little bit French. It was so weird, like completely opposite, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had privilege talking to Edmond Marukian last week too. When Pashinyan capitulated, there was huge demand of his resignation. There were a group of, I don't know. In fact, when I asked Marukian about 25 parties, he said, no, we have 80 parties. He said, not 25 parties. So those 17 parties, I don't know who they were, but they presented with this guy who were previous prime minister, Manukyan, Vasgen Manukyan, and also you had the military. 35 general asked for Pashinyan resignation. The president asked for Pashinyan resignation. The church leader asked for a Pashinyan resignation. So there was overwhelmingly people wanting him to resign, but parties like yours, Marukian, some others, they sort of, especially Marukian, wanted election. Why you guys didn't join the movement?
We also asked resignation of Pashinyan, and actually we were asking before that 18 parties. But the problem was and is that we have big difference with them. They are asking resignation for Pashinyan, and they will install another pro-Russian guy, and they want to continue this colonial rule of Armenia. We do not want. For us, the war was organized by Turkey and Russia is as much guilty as Turkey, Azerbaijan. So we have this difference. They just serving Russian interests. They were fighting or struggling for changing a person, a man. We are fighting to change the main direction of our foreign policy and the orientation of the country, because we think that if we will continue to do the same thing, we will have the same result. And the results were really very negative for us. A very sad outcome of these 30 years of so-called independence, because we never were really independent from Russia. We became de jure independent, but de facto we were under Russian control, and they installed always the guys who were playing their game. So it was part of that game, and we didn't join them. Even we were asking, and also currently we are asking for Pashinyan resignation, but we don't want to install instead of him another guy with the same ideas. We want the change of ideas and the direction of the policy.
And how do that could work? Like that's impossible things. Because if let me just say this, if Pashinyan is in power, tomorrow morning Pashinyan could call election and win. All he has to do says, if you don't elect me, the former government gonna come in. He's gonna win. So what is the mechanism your party or anyone in Armenia think they could remove Pashinyan?
You are right. Pashinyan was playing the threat of the former governor, especially Kocharyan, saying that if not me, it will be Kocharyan. And he used twice.
And it worked.
He played this game.
And it worked.
It worked, and it will work. And this is why we did not join that group, because, okay, they were proposing Vasken Manukyan, but we all understand that behind all this game is Kocharyan, because the other parties were supporting Kocharyan. And we know now that Dashta Tutun joined Kocharyan, and they are in the same alliance with Hayastan Dashin. All this, and this is why we had to join them. How we can do this? Just explaining the people, because we have actually in every country only there are two ways to change the government. One is rebellion. Unfortunately, our people reject all kind of use of force. Our people are even more peaceful than used to be even in the United States, because Jefferson said when the law becomes outlaw, I don't exactly remember, the defense become an obligation. The fight become an obligation. The same thing, but our people are too peaceful for rebellion. And you ask about Sasta Tzarem, Sasta, instead of the people to praise them, some people really think that they did wrong things. Okay. No reputation, nobody will do if you do not appreciate people that they are fighting for you and sacrificing their lives. Go and stay under Kocharyan or under Pashinyan, and you will give thousands and thousands casualties as did. How we can do? Just explaining people the situation, and we really can feel, and the numbers also it shows that our views, our ideas are gaining more and more ground. People join us more and more in larger numbers. And in this way, we hope that one day they will not vote for Pashinyan or for the same guys. They would vote for us, for our ideas, actually. Because the main idea is that Armenia now cannot be the ally of the Russia. Russia, because not of the Armenia, not because of Red or Bever, because of Russia. Russia did the final choice. For them, Turkey and Azerbaijan are the main allies for them against West. And we never can be equal for them in their interests. And now we are alone. We are abandoned by Russians, and Russia is leaving South Caucasus step by step, and Turkey is coming in. Actually, Turkey is invited by Russia to South Caucasus. And our idea is, if you Armenian people do not want to be massacred again by Turks, we have to find new allies. And we see the United States and the West as a possibility to be the ally of Armenia. And when people say, okay, it's impossible or it's very hard, yes, it's hard, it is possible, but if we, let's say, accept that it is impossible, it will mean that this is the final page of our existence as people within a country. Armenians will not exist in a country, not even having a state, but they will not have any possibility to live in Armenia. Some will be massacred, some will be live for Moscow, Russia, Glendale, or Belgium, but in Armenia there will be only maybe a handful of Armenians under Turkish rule, and they will come with Turkish flags and say that all their existence and life, Armenians were dreaming to be friends and live together with Turks, and now we finally reached our goal and national dream.
You know, this Pashinyan and Kocharyan, they are, you know, like I always said about Turks, terrorists exist because Turkey exists, you know, or Turkey exists, or terrorists exist because Turkey exists, because Turks too, without all their imperialism, Ottoman Empire, they built based on mercenaries. You know, even when they went to Central Asia, they converted the Turks, they brought them in as slave soldiers, and then they turned up to mercenaries anyway. So in Armenia is almost the same thing. Is Pashinyan is holding Armenian hostage of former government. That is his tools. He comes in power and he got elected, and he says he can't do nothing. What are you going to do? He has no background. He has no experience. He never done anything in his life. 45-year-old, never even finished high school. He thought, okay, I need to get Kocharyan. So he goes, while Kocharyan was making million, he dragged Kocharyan on the stage and he put him in jail, from one jail to another. He take him to the court, from court to court, he changed the judges, but anyway, he could not win. I mean, I describe Armenian problem very simple way. So Pashinyan decided, okay, I can't get you through the law, I'm going to go destroy your country. So he goes in there, make a deal with Azerbaijan in Aliyev in Switzerland. They plan this war. He's in power again. And Kocharyan now, he is coming back in power. He is in the parliament, and you guys all lost. So these two tribes are fighting each other. There is no ideology between them. There is no left wing, right wing, or conservative, or or anti-Russia or anti-America. It's just two tribes are fighting. And you guys, other political parties, are fueling it. Now tell me where is I'm wrong.
You are not saying that we are fueling them. Not, we do not. They won because Kocharyan and Pashinyan both are supported by Moscow, and the fight between them is not, you are right, ideological or a difference of understanding of the politics. They are fighting as two wives in a harem, fighting who will be the last wife of Moscow Kremlin. This is the case.
I agree.
No changes. Yeah, Kocharyan says that, you see, I will fulfill all your wishes, Moscow. I am better for you. And Pashinyan says, okay, I spoke too much previously, but now you see, I do everything what you want, and why you want to change me. And Moscow, who was actually the first concerned, first half a year with Pashinyan, and they understood, okay, there is no difference between Pashinyan and Kocharyan. Just even Pashinyan is better currently to them, because Pashinyan can convince all people, not all people, let's say the people with less education, less understanding, everything, he can just say that, okay, I will take all the money of these previous thieves and will give to you. And people will believe him. And nobody will ask that Pashinyan already 3 years is in power and there is no a single court decision against someone. The guys, as he said, talanchiner and so on. Okay, if they are talanchi, they are thieves. Where are the court decisions? Nobody. But the people, they want to believe that. But I want to say very important thing. Just a couple of days ago, White House published United States strategy countering corruption. And these 38 pages of document is very important. Actually, they will fight corruption all over the world. The rules of the game has been changed. The rules and laws in the United States, within the United States, are changed to give power to some agencies of the United States to fight corruption overseas. And I am sure, because we have another information, that this is mainly directed against Russian corruption because it's a security issue for the United States. And these Armenian corrupt people are part of that Russian group. And this is that fighting Russian corruption, they will finally fight also corruption within Armenia. All the main parts of Armenian economy, railway, communication, energy supply, nuclear power station, everything is now owned by Russia and is as much corrupted as within Russia. So fighting Russian corruption in Russia, they will fight as well corruption in Armenia. This means that the people who now they can gain more votes, they can have more votes because of the money, just because of the resources, they will have less. And if they will have as much resources as we, as our political group or party, I am sure that we will get much more votes from the voters, from the people, that because mainly they are receiving this support because of the money. The same with Pashinyan as well. We are having now local elections, community elections in the place, and we can see that in many places Pashinyan lost, his party lost, or even if they won, they are getting much less votes that used to get. Sometimes it's half of the votes that they received just in June of this year. Within half a year, they lost 50% of the votes. This is the case that in Armenia we do not have this classical landscape of politics when you have this left, right, I don't know, liberals or so. We just have people who try to please Moscow, Kremlin. This is the majority because Moscow has their agents all over the country, and the money is in their hands. And some other people, as we see ourselves, maybe some other groups and parties who say that Armenia first must become an independent state, less connected with Russia, even to fight the corruption. It's not the case of sovereign governing the country. We thus simply cannot fight a single corruption above of, let's say, schoolmasters. If we go above and to, let's say, Pashinyan spoke about corruption in Armenian railway company, which is owned by Russians. It was over $16 million just within 3 months they opened these cases. But Lavrov himself told openly that you do not have any right to go in Russian companies and do some
Investigation.
there, investigation. And this is the case. We see, and the corruption is really a security issue in Armenia. We lost the war because of many reasons. And one of the reasons, it was the corruption within the country and within the army. Because on the papers, we had a much more weapon, we had more sophisticated defense system, but in reality, it came out, we do not have really there nothing. Just people misused the resources there, put on the paper, but not on the ground.
Now, do you know, you're a historian, you know they say, my enemy's enemy, my friend? Do you know that, right?
Sure.
So why don't you guys use that same philosophy? Let Kocharian and Pashinyan, if Kocharian is having effect on Pashinyan, then why can't Kocharian be your friend? Because
Kocharian is worse than Pashinyan. Is the same guy. What's the difference between Kocharian?
I know, but you see, one of the
because Kocharian has more money now than Pashinyan. What's the difference? Let's say we'll fight Pashinyan, and instead of Pashinyan will come Kocharian. So we do really think that
no, look,
defend.
actually,
Just a minute. Do you think that he could defend Karabakh? Karabakh we lost there because of Russia one.
okay.
I am sure that Russia could tell Kocharian, and Kocharian couldn't do anything against Russian will. This is the reality.
Yeah. You know, like there is, even now you could see Pashinyan is using even those people who, like you, says we need to go west, which is, what is that, Aram Sarkisian and Sherinian, you know, but they're all causing to Pashinyan, they're becoming the peace mouth or mouthpiece of Pashinyan. And so, you know, like, there has to be some force, joint force, to attack both of them simultaneously. Because if you don't want Kocharian, because this, I believe these two tribes are fighting, they are the only one winning, and Armenia is losing. And so unless there is some kind of strategy, my enemy's enemy, my friend, some kind of technique, then you guys could get rid of both of them. I just don't know how you guys gonna do it, but just saying it, you know, we want to be with United States, or we want to be this, it doesn't work. You need a strategy.
The strategy is very simple. I already told you. The decision already is taken. The corruption will be less or eliminated. The money will be less. The accounts will be frozen in Russia and in Armenia as well, which means that will be with equal capabilities with others. This is first. Secondly, Armenia is among the nations who are chosen to be so-called democratic countries, which means there will be more efforts from West. European Union speaks about $370 billion projects for a corridor going from India to Europe, which will pass through Armenia, or we hope that it will pass, and we're trying to do the same, which this is the possibility. I mean, the changes in Armenia will come with the main geopolitical changes in the world. We are interconnected them. If we will stay alone within Armenia, let's say without any of these big changes and efforts from the other countries, nobody can win Russian influence in Armenia. Russians in Armenia over 200 years, and during Soviet times they have half of our, let's say, elite are KGB agents till now. Half of them are receiving money from Russians, direct money. You know that many Armenian officers in our security and in army, when they are retired, they are getting pensions from Russia, and they are citizens of Russia. And how you can, in this case, fight the Russian interest? As I told that Russian interest is to keep Armenia down, Turkey close, and Azerbaijan try to be within Euro-Asian Union. This is the idea.
How-
And Russia's
How would American corruption policy remove Pashinyan?
because no, not Pashinyan. It will remove Kocharyan, Serge Sarkisyan, and the others, and they will not be misused. The threat of Kocharyan and Sarkisyan will not be misused by Pashinyan, and nobody will vote for him.
No, he will.
Suppose that during these elections there were no candidates from Kocharyan or Sarkisyan. I am sure that Pashinyan would not get even half of the votes, because I know many people who told us that we were planning to vote for you, but when at the last week Kocharyan gathered many people in Republic Square, we were really afraid that Kocharyan would come back, and we voted for Pashinyan not to allow this
Well,
to happen.
that's what Marukyan told me, the same thing. He said he had the
Yes.
people. He has the people told them that we were planning to vote for you, but when we saw 30,000 people in the public square, and we were afraid, and that. So this is a dilemma where you have two people, the two tribe, I call them. They are interfighting, and the rest of Armenia paying the price. And how?
Well, you see, always people pay price for the government. Let's say Pashinyan failed Karabakh negotiations, failed the relations with not only Russia, with West as well, but who paid the price? Simple people, ordinary people, and they will be paying also in the future. The prices are really growing in Armenia. Let's say, an example, I was buying bread, special kind of bread for 2060 drams. Now it's 300 within 2 years, which means that it grew 15-17%. The price was increased, and now from 1st of January we'll have the price increase of water 10%, and the electricity, and all these are used for cooking, for baking, for everyday life, and the poor people will suffer. But the problem is that the main group of people who vote for Pashinyan are the same poor people who suffer the most.
Yeah.
Their children
Yeah.
died during this war.
Yeah.
This is a situation that really nobody can explain. This is some kind of magic, and Pashinyan is using this his magic stick to convince people.
Pashinyan has created massive cult. And where is it? Here is this. Look at this woman. You've seen this.
Ես իրանք էլ են Փաշինյանին եմ ուզում իրանք թողուրիշ նույնիսկ մտնի ձերտուն ձեր թորներին մորթի կուզեք Փաշինյանը հա այդքան մի
And then you've seen this woman says Pashinyan is God.
Կողմից է դրված ովքեր խոսում են իրանց ազգի թակավորի մասին, վարկաբեկում են, անհարգում են.
So how would you guys convince those people, this cult? There are thousands of them, you know. This is the dilemma. Pashinyan created this cult. I just don't know.
We can't convince these kind of people. They are lost people. but we can convince many people who were voting for Pashinyan, but now they have doubts, or they already rejected Pashinyan, and they are looking somebody else to join or to vote.
Okay, tell me.
When we compare,
Tell me.
when we compare the numbers, just we finished. We mostly get our votes from Arapid region of Yerevan city, Arapid Arabas, where people is the little bit the standard of living, high middle people with intelligentsia, with the people, and in the cities we are getting more votes than in the villages, in bigger cities more than in small. This shows that when people are aware of our ideas, they use more, let's say, internet or YouTube, they vote for us, because there is a problem. Let's say Kocharian and his group, Sarkisian, they have 4 or 5 TV stations, and they do their propaganda 24 hours, 7 days of week. We do not have even a single one. We use just internet, and unfortunately, that kind of people that we saw, they never use an internet, they never watch our explanation, they just believe in Pashinyan, convincing themselves that Pashinyan is one of them. And I told the last time that some people told us that we are too complicated for them. They cannot understand us speaking about independence, about sovereign country, about Armenian right, about international law. Pashinyan is very simple. He can come and say that, and there is on YouTube you can find all these videos, that until 2024 the prices of water not will be increased.
Yeah, I have.
Everybody will go and give his vote for that.
Yeah, here.
We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can increase the price without any problem. He's the guy that he has no a simple everyday shame, because normal people, when they promise something, and even in politics, even more, you have to keep with this, or at least to explain, because politicians promise and then explain why they failed to fulfill their promises.
Yeah.
But Pashinyan even did not put any effort to explain. He just simply lying and going ahead.
Yeah, he's a con artist. Here is that where you were talking here.
Պայմանագրի դեկտեմբերին հիմա արդեն խմելու ջուրը ամբողջ հանրապետությունում պետք է թանկանար, բայց մենք վիոլա ջրի հետ կարողացանք ի վիճակի եղանք աշխատել եւ պայմանավորվեցինք, որ մինչեւ 2024 թվականը Հայաստանում խմելու ջրի թանկացում տեղի չի ունենա.
Okay, so you heard this guy. We calculated, because people send me all those videos. Since 2008, he lied 211 times. This guy, 211 times, and nobody heard. But just before that, explain to me this last local election. And some newspaper we do too. They said Pashinyan was crashed, and they said Pashinyan landslide again. Can you explain to me what is the situation this local election happened?
I can say that he was crushed. He lost some communities. 1/3. Actually, he lost 1/3 of the community elections that happened till now. It will go on. He will lose another, let's say. But you see, the local elections do not solve any kind of problem in our.
I understand that. But because some people was reporting saying he lost local municipality, but he win local municipality, but he lost big cities. I didn't understand what that mean, local versus city.
Okay, maybe let's say Abovian city or town, which you know it's close to Yerevan, Bargava Chayastan of Gagik Tsarukyan, his bodyguard became mayor of the city. Okay, would this be good or bad for the people? It would be the same, because Abovian always was part of ownership of Gagik Tsarukyan, and nothing changed. It was during Kocharian time, it was during Serge Sarkisian time, and it's now during Pashinyan time. Or let's say in Shunik, in Zangezur, he lost some cities, towns, Megri or Goris. So what? Okay, these people, the mayors, will come to government and they will ask for support, because the money comes from the central budget. They do not have enough money to support themselves, and I'm sure that will be a discrimination against them, and they will be rejected, and the people next time never will vote for opposition. Why people in Armenia vote for always? The majority vote for the government, because they really understand that if their mayor or head of the community will be not a member of governing party, it was during Serge time, Pashinyan time, Peri Petrosyan time, always government can find 100 excuses not to provide any support. In these towns or villages will be opposition in power. So what? We didn't, our Azgan Jortarak and Bever didn't participate there, because we do not think that it will change anything in the country. We actually, for us, our understanding is that the changes in Armenia have to come from changing the general policy of the country. Because, okay, everybody speaks about rebuilding the army. Yeah, it's very important. And how it is possible? We look on Georgia. Georgia lost the war in 2008 against Russia, and after that, United States provide them millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, and equipment and weapons, and now they have much stronger army than Armenia has. And last time when head of Pentagon a couple of months ago came to Georgia, they signed an agreement of cooperation with Georgian army, and they will receive even more support. Okay, what with Armenia? Will United States support Armenian army? No, it will not, because we are part of Russian army. Will Russia support Armenian army? No, it's clear that not, because they want not to create problems for Turks. Even the Armenian army is now reduced. It's in a process of reduction. Nobody speaks openly about this, but soon we'll not have any army in Nagorno-Karabakh, any kind of army. It will be just some kind of police there, and very small army with few capabilities in Armenia. And this goes on. And the Russian grip over Armenia is becoming stronger and stronger. If it will go on in this way, within some years, if Russia will not be collapsed under Western pressure, will become, it will be the worst scenario, will not even become part of Russia, will be part of Russian Union, which means that Russia will have every kind of power over us, but no obligation over Armenia. It will be even worse than during Soviet time, because Soviet time Armenia was part of Soviet Union, and Moscow has all rights in Armenia, but meanwhile they had all obligations. They had to protect Armenia, to support with money and other things. But becoming a union member, this means that you have no rights and no support. Everything is in Moscow.
So to conclude, what is National Democratic Axis or poll long-term planning? How would you guys get in the government?
Before getting into government, we have to change the set of minds of Armenian people, and we succeed already there. I am sure that if you ask some Armenians in Armenia, they will say that they are thinking about United States and about West differently than used to do a year ago. And this is thanks to National Democratic Axis, because we are showing them the real history, the real geopolitics, the real life, not just this kind of fairy tales about Russian, Armenian friendship and so on. Okay, maybe it was, I don't know. As a historian, I can say that during historical times, we have ups and downs with Russians, but it's the time of really down, and I do not see any, during the near future, any possibility to become closer or to be a real ally of Russia. First, changing the set of minds, we are successful and we are really getting more positive results. Secondly, to increase and widen our connections with United States establishment, and we are successful as well here, and we trying to explain them that Armenia can be really a useful part of new and peaceful South Caucasus with Georgia as well, because they are now emphasizing with on their relations with Georgia, but they have to understand that without Armenia, the possibilities are really much smaller. And if we'll succeed with this Indo-European corridor, going from India to Char-Bahar or Iran, Armenia, Georgia, and Europe, this will be totally other geopolitics. And here, in this corridor, we have another one against this Russian-Turkish corridor going from east to west. And there is a competition between these mainstreams, let's say, and we hope that Indo-European corridor and axis, and here we have really an axis, will win, because on this side, in the European side, is United States. It's 25% of world GDP. It's European Union. It's another 25%. It's India, a huge country, and it seems it's fourth or fifth economy in the world now, and the fastest growing, biggest economy in the world, and so on. And we are speaking about this for years, at least for 2-3 years. And you see our predictions were right. Indian foreign minister for the first time came to Armenia, and this was their initiative to come to Armenia and to speak about this corridor, and they are putting efforts and time to create this one. Armenia was invited to these summits of democracies, despite we do not have any democracy real in Armenia, but it can be. And Pashinyan will be in Brussels meeting Aliyev on December 15, and this shows that a European Union, as part of Troika of this group, is becoming active, more active. And today, Putin and Biden spoke, maybe even currently as we speak, they are speaking online as well. We do not have any kind of information now, but we know that one of the issues that they will discuss, it will be the situation in South Caucasus. So we hope that geopolitics this time will come out in our benefit, and we will come with positive, let's say, results of this really very dangerous and very difficult situation.
All right, so that's a good news. Let's hope all that happen. Armenia is in desperate situation and need some boost, but I just don't have too much faith in Pashinyan sitting in there. And Pashinyan, Kocharian, they're gonna hammer each other, and Armenia gonna be the one losing. But it's up to you, Armenian. Do you guys, your party, talk to other political institutions, political people? Do you try to form some same mindset people, or you just doing it your whatever you guys doing?
We had previously meetings with them. We are having currently as well. We have another meeting with the party members, other party members within 2 days. We are trying to join a group, but we do not see that this is the only way, because it's over evaluating this kind of if you have to come together. We have to come together if we share the same values, if the same goals. Otherwise, it will weaken our party, because if people see, let's say, in a way, it seems it's patriotic saying that Armenia has to rely only on its own possibilities and the Armenian people all over the world. It seems it's very patriotic, yeah? But it's a Russian propaganda, because it's clear when you say Armenia must stay alone, it means it must stay under Russia. This is the case, and the people do not really understand very often. They speak, it's it's a fairy tale. You never can.
Yeah.
Even Japan or Germany or South Korea, when they were defeated, they stood on their feet with the help of West. Nobody can do this, and especially Armenia. On what kind of resources we will become stronger? They propose us, first we have to become stronger, and then to go to Western direction, and so how you can become stronger? When everything in your country is controlled by corrupt people from Armenia and from Russia, everything is sold out. You have just 2 million people, half of them are retired people. You have 10 billion or already 11 billion of debt, state debt. You have officially over 30% of poor people in the country. Saying people poor, it means just $1 per day. It's less than in many African countries. And in reality, the poverty in Armenia is over 50%. All villages are really devastated, and many families. And when this COVID-19 will be overcome, or it will be overcame, maybe we'll see that many people will leave for Russia from Armenia.
Well, according
And
to
thousands of people, yes.
according to Marugian, he said if you check the chart on Google, how much Armenians are asking for green card is just skyrocketing, And so Armenia now is what, about 2 million? Who knows? By the time 5 years Pashinyan live, probably will be 1 million. But they don't think that way, They just keep propaganda. We have industry, technology, and all that. But farmers and others are the backbone of a country. If a farmer is there making $1 a day, how could they survive? And you can't. Technology is good. Nobody is against it. All my life I've been in technology, but then you need bread, you need butter too, And so I don't know.
You need population and people, the families who have 3 or more children. It's people, farmers, people who live in smaller communities. And now Pashinyan wants to open the borders with Turkey, saying that this will bring prosperity to Armenian people. Turkish agriculture is much stronger than Armenian. They have big farmers. Everything is cheaper there, and the Armenian agriculture sector will be crushed under the pressure of Turkish. And I'm sure that the Turkish government will support, especially support their farmers for damping the prices, and within couple of years, the people, the villagers, will not have even that $1 per day, because their production objectively will be more expensive than Turkey.
Well, you know,
We can find in Armenia.
don't go too far. When Iraqi Kurdistan, they voted 92% to become independent. All Turkey, the Erdogan said if you don't drop it or close the border, you'll starve, because their entire economy depend on Turkey. Every company, every product, so they dropped it. They didn't drop it because of Iraq. They dropped it because they said, we'll cut up your oil, we cut up your supply, and the trucks on border, they closed down. And that's the same thing can happen to Armenia.
Yes, it can, because now the economy is owned by Russia, and the agriculture sector will be owned by Turks. Now some oligarchs in Armenia who privatized some real estate at the beginning of 90s, they are dreaming for that Turks will come and they will sell this property to them, real estate.
Yeah.
They will gain money, will have big money, and then leave the country.
Well, apparently,
many just dreaming about that.
Because I heard even in Artsakh, those Azerbaijanis with Russian citizens, they're coming buying stuff in Karabakh, and so it's Armenia is bleeding. And I said this to Marugian, to Armenia is bleeding in multi-front. It's losing territory, it's losing soldiers, and it's losing brain drain. And I think unless something happen, both Pashinyan, Kocharian, Sarkisian being thrown in jail or something, so that Armenia will have new, fresh, there is nothing could change. This thing's gonna continue, and with the protest, I don't know. Unless there is some united front to counter this or military takeover, because other than that, what is gonna stop this? Nobody can.
Military will not take over, because Russia is against that. Because unless all the goals of Russian Pashinyan did not fulfill, he will stay in power. Why is now Pashinyan against of the Zangezur corridor and so? Because he understands that is the final thing that he will be used for. If he will sign and agree with these things, he will be crushed by Russians. Many people write that just he will be killed, or he will die in some accident, car accident, or air accident, something. But he understands that he is alive until he is useful to Russians. This is the problem. The problem for Armenia is, in Armenia we have too much Russia and too little West. This is the problem. We lost this equilibrium. When I was in foreign ministry, we had this policy of complementarity, that we had close relations, military relations with Russia, but political relations with West, where at least we were trying to be part of many world events that going on, and in this way we were more or less, let's say, more or less independent. Now we are totally under Russian control.
Well, we have just 1 minute. I'll just let you say the last word, and then don't go away, stay there while I close the program.
The situation is really difficult, even dangerous, but we are very hopeful that within a year there will be very big geopolitical changes in the world, and this will positively affect Armenia, and we will at that time will begin regaining economic and military power.
Thank you very much. It was always pleasure. And don't go away. And let me close this, and then I'll come back. So for our viewer, thank you very much for watching. And you could see this is the man has lots of ambition, lots of ideas, and he been in many situations. And we'll see how things could develop. We all hope things change in Armenia, but it's just a hope. Some of my other viewer like Mamoujian, he said Armenian ambition does not meet the reality. So some of those are right. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in next episode.